What is up, Planeswalkers? Theox6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Today we're going to be doing something slightly differently. I've noticed many people on the channel ask very similar questions, most likely because these people are new either to Magic or new to Arena itself, and I figured I would just put in those answers in this video to help people out with some nice quality of life improvements. Now, what we're going to start with is how to change your basic land art. I see this many times with people just asking, how exactly do we go about doing this? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go into your deck manager and you're going to type in land up in the search bar. Now, what this does is it just searches for cards that have land in the search bar. But as you can see, I'm not getting basic lands here. I'm not getting specifically what I'm looking for. So you have to go into the advanced filters and type in and hit reset, which is weird. I don't know why you have to do this, but you do. And now, as you can see, you have access to all of the nice basic land art that you have. You see a little Ixalan Jace here. But what's really frustrating is that when you hit one of these, yeah, sure, disable it, you don't have access to them anymore. So if you're trying to add multiple, you'll have to reset, go in, let's get Jace Swamp, and then from there you should just press the plus and subtraction. This is kind of frustrating. I do hope that in the future this will change and it will be a little bit more streamlined for new players. Now, we're going to go ahead and, sure, save and exit, don't mind. Next, I'm going to talk about how you see me have decks like, let's show this one. Decks like this, where I have cards that I don't actually own yet. The way you do this is by importing. Right now, unfortunately, you're not actually able to add in cards that you don't own extra copies of. So let's go ahead and do this. So here, it doesn't give me an option of adding another demotion. It's just forcing me to use a wildcard for it. So at present, we can't, through the deck editor, actually add in cards. But what you can do is you can import your lists. And I have no idea what I just imported. There it is, imported new deck. And as you can see, you will have access to those cards that you don't actually own. Now, this is not necessarily a trick that people don't know about, but what I tend to do, what I like doing, is if there's a deck that you're striving for, let's say this blue-white control deck, for example, and I notice I'm missing a Cleansing Nova. This Teferi I actually technically have because of the other one, but, you know, I'm missing, let's say I'm missing Cleansing Nova, Settle the Wreckage, right? The rest of these, they're commons and uncommons, I can craft them, but I'm missing those two. So what you can do, and what I usually do, is I clone the deck, and it'll have this. I'll give it some nonsense name, and then I will go into it, and I will take out those cards that I don't have and put in cards that are facsimiles to play with the deck and get more familiar before I decide to craft them. This allows me to maintain the deck that I had initially without having to necessarily keep the list somewhere else, and it shows me progress if I end up opening those cards. If I open a Cleansing Nova, it will automatically register as getting a Cleansing Nova here, so it will not show this red one. It'll just have 2x Cleansing Nova. So it's a really nice way, splitting them up like this, having a clone, to test the deck, get more familiar with it, as well as make sure you know your progress on a deck that you're building up for, so that when you do decide to craft for it, you aren't overcrafting. The last deck builder thing that I would like to talk about is actually I'm going to go ahead and not do this, is the deck rating system. Now, the deck rating system, I guess I will have to leave this, is only used in the normal play mode. In the best of one play, I do not believe it's for the best of one constructed event, and I know for a fact it is not in any of the other events. It is just for the best of one ladder play. Now, unfortunately, we don't know exactly what this entails. However, there are some guesses. The way that the decks are rated is likely based on an amalgamation of the individual cards that are in the deck. However, we don't know how cards are rated. So it could just be based on their rarity, which I don't believe it is, since you won't typically be using jank rares, as they're called, and facing up against really top-tier decks. You're not going to be playing a Drowned Secrets deck and come up against a blue-white or a Jeskai control deck, because the rares don't seem to be what matters. It seems more likely that it's based on either how many people use wildcards to craft it, or based on how much that card wins in maybe the events or maybe in the ladders or whatever, and has some sort of modified, continually changing rated scale for each of the individual cards, and then all of those cards' sum total will give you your deck strength. Speaking of the deck strength, I do believe that if you take a deck into best of one, it will still take into account the cards in your sideboard. So if you're playing best of one and you notice that your sideboard contains a lot more rares and mythics than your main deck does, what you might want to do is remove those cards, either by just removing it from the deck or doing that clone thing I did where you clone this and just have a sideboardless deck, and then you take that into best of one, because based purely on the information we have, it is likely that your deck is going to be worth, quote unquote, less than it was with those rare and mythics in your sideboard. That way you're not going up against decks that are technically stronger than what your main deck can handle. One kind of last thing I would like to talk about is the fact that you're able to undo things, wrong button, able to undo things using Z. Now, this, I believe right now, can only really be used for undoing mana situations. So if you tap a Llanowar Elf and you realize, well, I don't want to do that, you can go ahead and press Z to undo it. That said, when you have the auto tap feature on, if you cast a spell from your hand before you add the mana, it will just auto cast the spell, and at that point you will not be able to undo the casting of that spell, the tapping of that land, because it has already sent the information that that spell is being cast. If, however, you decide that you want to tap a certain way and you mess up tapping, say you are tapping a Drowned Catacomb and you decide to tap for blue and you need black instead, you can undo that so you're not stuck with a random blue mana floating and the inability to cast a spell. So that is essentially all I wanted to talk about today. These are just really simple things that will make your arena life a little bit easier, and I figured since that's not the normal video, I would open some packs because I needed more packs. So I got more packs. We got some nice things here. Of course, the rares are really what we are looking after. And we will just go through nice time opening some packs. I do love me some packs. Oh, look, it's the vault. I guess that's something I should talk about. A lot of people were confused as to what this little thing is. And this essentially is what happens when you open 5th copies of cards. So I'm opening, let's say I already own 4 Perilous Voyages. If I open this one, I won't get a 5th copy into my collection because it's worthless. I can't put more than 4 copies into a deck, so there's no point in me having a 5th copy. So what happens is this card disappears and a small percentage is added to this little vault thing. I can't see the percentage, which is frustrating. Can I see it now? Cool. So as you can see right now, it's at 101.0%. It's a very small percentage. It's like 1 point something, I think. And it's gone. It's invisible until you reach 100%. And then you can open it for a few wildcards. Now, Wizards has said that they want to change this and that they're looking for ways to change this. However, it is understandably a little difficult to do. For example, if I own all of a set and I start opening packs, I love that I opened that, what exactly is going to happen? What do I gain out of opening packs that I already own the entire set for? And, you know, some people think, well, you could just, this is nice, you could just have it so they gain gold back or some small amount of gems. What happens if I have most of a set? Let's say I have all of the commons and uncommons and I'm missing like just one rare. I'm missing literally one rare. You know, you have to kind of work in the nuance. So right now it's fine, but they are working on a solution to this, and hopefully it comes soon. They have said that it's going to be backwards compatible, whatever they decide to do. So if you're opening a bunch of packs, like I am here, and you're getting a bunch of 5th copies, it's not, you shouldn't worry about it. You're going to, like this Death Baron, I have 4 of. I already have 4 of these cards. I don't need another one. Whatever Wizards is going to implement in the future, they have said, hopefully they stick to that, they have said that resolution will be backwards compatible. So I will get something for opening this Death Baron now, even though I am technically getting a small amount of vault progress. So some Planeswalkers, that's nice. That's good, because I'm trying to make a Jund sacrifice deck, which I think all of you will be pretty pleased about. It's a really weird deck, but got some Izareths. Those things are making waves, which is really interesting. I didn't expect them to be good. Temple Guard and Sacred Foundry are great. Watergrave already have max, so. But really, what this is all about is getting those sweet wild cards. Aurelia's great. Oh, the Knight of Autumn. So, okay. We're going to have the upgraded Convoke deck soonish, which is very good. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Already had Tajik. Divine Visitation is for sweet memes. Let's go ahead and open this up. And as you can see, we got, oh gosh. did not like that animation there. We got up to 48% on the rest of those packs. So you can kind of do the math based on, you know, what you saw me opening. So anyway, I hope that video has been helpful to you. If anyone has any other questions that they would like to see me explore, something that maybe is a little bit more great detail, feel free to let me know. I'd like to thank Easy Mode, DizzyFam, Radberry, Kioshin, Ox, Daniel, Flowerchild, Chow083, and Zaraga for their support on Patreon. The support allows me to continue making quality content for you guys, allows me to keep making sweet decks for you guys to see. If you'd like to join them in supporting the channel, you'll find links to that in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment to the comment section down below. And until next time, all will be one.